as 1st of March 2023. So that becomes the effective date. We have the reference number 22-0001.
Construction Committee, members of the Construction Committee, and our guests from Arch Design Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Lembe Gerard. I'm an advocate in running a private practice here in Cathedral. And I'm also honored to be the diocesan lawyer. My duty today is the simplest, which is to preside over the signing of the contract between the consultant and the diocese. The details of which both sides know too well because you have been engaged in the deliberations. So my role really is to reduce all that into a document which you are going to sign and which will be a reference point for our responsibilities. The two sides will be represented by the bishop on the one side for the diocese and Mr. Richard for the side of the Arch Design Limited. It will be a quick one because it is the main issue. After that, I think I'll hand over to the MC. I'll request him to get me the other two copies with me here so that I can have the two parties get together, how we sign off.
Thank you so much, Engineer. My name is Engineer Isaiah Nyongo. I'm the Vicar General of the Diocese. But on this project, I'm the chairman of the steering committee. That is the topmost committee responsible for this project.
Which we received from the Renovation Committee, and that report had recommendations for us to execute. And one of the recommendations, the contract that is being signed between the registered trustees of the Cathedral Diocese of Fort Portal and Arch Design Limited for the provision of project management and supervision services for the proposed renovation of Our Lady of Snows Cathedral. So, in a nutshell, upon receiving the evaluation report, we had to commence with the negotiations. Of course, as you work out the negotiations, there is a stage you have to draft the contract documents, you have to do legal consultation, you have to reevaluate on in terms of getting the firm price at the end of the day. So all that technical bit we've gone through it with the expertise of the members on the team. The team was able to achieve all the terms of reference. It was put up or mandated to work upon. One was letter of acceptance. The other one was the letter of intent to award. That comes first for acceptance because we had to get through all that process. There is negotiation, there is intention to award, there is accepting, now we are signing. So this is the climax of the process. And of course we've been able to elaborate the tasks ahead of the project manager in 7 stages. And these stages will begin with him setting up a team. And from there he plans properly. He will go into the aspects of design. And upon design, we will expect him coming up with the firm price of the contractor, that is the GMP. That's the guaranteed maximum price based on the competitiveness of the market. And then we can commence with construction, that is the renovation of the cathedral. And after that, we expect closeout or post-construction and monitoring of defects. So, in a nutshell, his contract commenced on the 1st of March, as highlighted by the MC, and as highlighted in the letter of intent for award. So all that effort has been well documented in our report. Summarize that the contract is a lump sum contract. The final negotiated price, of course, we had our cost limit and their limit, and we had to meet, the mines had to meet somewhere, and the price we've settled with is a sum of 200 million shillings, VAT inclusive, and all reimbursables inclusive. The duration of the project is 12 months. So if you count from the date of commencement, today is 1st March of 2023 to be 1st March of 2024. Then you count the DLP of 1 year. All this has been put together. So I want to again thank the bigger team, the steering committee, for its support and the support we've got from other committees to make sure that this process is a success. Other than that, I wish also to hand over the report, because that's also one of my final activities, handing over our committee report to chair of the steering committee. Thank you so much.
We'll walk you through the content so that we know what we are signing, because you are witnesses to this agreement, even though you're all not going to have your signatures captured. This is what our document looks like. That's the cover page. It indicates the client's name, the consultant, and the service to be provided, which is project management and supervision of a design and build contract. They have guided me that it is deliberate to call it a design and build contract. The agreement date is 1st March 2023. This agreement has a table of contents and a definition section, but quickly I will take you to the specific areas which of course it has a provision for appointment and the duration of appointment. It has the consultant's obligations are laid down. It has the limit of the consultant's liability. It provides for professional indemnity insurance. It also provides for the professional fees for the consultant and the mode of disbursement. It provides for cessation and assignment by the consultant. It provides for confidentiality and copyright. Conflict of interest and corruption is provided for. Cancellation and suspension. Resolution of disputes. And then we have general provisions. At the end we have a schedule of annexures, which include the scope of services to be provided, the schedule of fees, the professional indemnity, the site development plan, the consultant acceptance letter, the work program, the consultant organogram, the oath of confidentiality, and the power of attorney appointing the signatory to this document by the company that he works for, that is Archdesign Limited. So that's a summary of what we have in this document. And without wasting more time, I will call upon Richard to approach. Come to the front. We are going to sign together with the bishop.
to make well known to whoever is present here who the client representative is for this project.
For the knowledge of each one of us, and for the purpose of this contract is none other than Father Thaddeus Musabe. Because Father Thaddeus Musabe is here.
The client and represents the client's interests. But the client's interests also have to be governed by the contract itself. So he ensures that whatever is being done is according to the contract and the client's interests. Many would question, say, didn't we need someone who is technical? The answer is no. For the committees are working hand in hand with the client representative to oversee the project manager. Till as the signing goes on, we'll keep talking. Has stages that it goes through. Now we are stage number 1, which is team selection. And according to the bidder, this team selection is going to run for 1 month. I'm going to put up a team. This beginning, we'll expect a report from him. We expect a reviewed project brief, agreed scope of work, agreed services, project initiation program, project procurement policy, procurement program, the tender contract conditions, tender documentation, financial evaluation of tenders, press contract documentation, integrated schedule of consents and approval, obtain approval by the client of tender, record all meetings, contract documentation for signature, and a signed design build agreement. So what we are doing now to answer further is the beginning of team selection. It is the effective date, commencement date for the project. So after team selection, we shall go into project planning, we shall also go into design development, we shall go into actual construction, we shall go into closeout and post-construction, and all these stages have specific deliverables. In a nutshell, what we are doing now, we have been talking. Now, we have put a pen in our signature, and it marks the commencement of the proposed renovation of Cathedral process. I'm bringing this word a process, and I'm also emphasizing the stages. Why? Because you did mention that you wanted to know the stages we're going to go through. So I believe I've explained to your satisfaction.
Yes.
Yes, brother.
I did actually ask the question because only whispered to me here, what to Hakaka.
So let's do it.
And architect design was assigned to work in Kinyamaska. So I worked with architect design in the construction of our new motor vehicle workshop, the kitchen, and the classroom floor, and 2 dormitories. Along the way, we were not satisfied with the contractors, and we decided to discontinue their services. So there was a lot of negotiation that took place, but architect design was strong enough to be on our side, and that contractor was terminated, and we got a better contractor who completed the work that you are seeing in Kinyamaska. So I would like to say the courage which architect design showed them, and we will be showing in this work.
So you influenced.
Because the work
we're doing the study work.
People may think that we've been spending quite some months wondering what has been going on, what's going on. But I think what has been going on has been something very beautiful to put this together. And I think the process has been worth it. Even the procurement, I think at some point we are going to create an addendum and extend it to attract a wider, in order to get the best of the best. Probably in support of, I don't know, the testimony of Dr. Pasco maybe does not change much of what has happened, but it's a testimony, because I think the saying has already been done. If you have to cancel the contract now, it will attract some costs. But it's a testimony because it gives us more confidence and you know, looking forward to the hope. Personally, I have known Arch Design for many years. I've worked with Richard for many years. He's my senior professional.
They confessed here that they had bias towards this provider. They had better get shot. Because for me, I'll start here. The documents that we have before you. My Lord and members, I wish to declare that the signing off has been concluded. Suffice it to note, we had a bundle of their solicitation documents that came along with the formal contract. This bundle forms part and parcel of the contract. If I, by way of analogy, the Honorable Member of Parliament is here. When a law cannot be interpreted well in court, judges refer to the Hansard. The purpose, what was the intention of the makers of that law? So this bundle of solicitation documents indicates the intentions of whoever was engaged in the procurement of these services. When this cannot be understood in any way, reference is made to this document. So it is part and parcel of the contract, and you'll be free at any stage of the project to make reference to it. If you need to get an understanding of what the services, what the provider is doing, you refer here and nothing else. And he will be very keen to say, oh, in the solicitation process, that wasn't part of what you asked me for. Beware of that, and they are fond of doing it. So I had information on that. You should be aware that this is part of the contract and you can make reference to it. With that, I thank you so much, and I thank you for giving me the honor of presiding over this ceremony. God bless you.
Arch Design. First of all, to thank the diocese, the Cathedral Diocese, for first of all engaging in this process and for giving us an opportunity to participate in this process. I want to thank the various people we have been meeting for the opportunities that they have given us to present our information and for enabling us to conclude this process. I want to, of course, highlight just one or two things. First, that Arch Design has been in existence for now a number of years. We're now almost 25 years. So been around and been doing this kind of consultancy activity in various projects. And I want to commit that we have always done the best and we will do the best even on this assignment, as some of our projects exhibit. I want to highlight again, for purposes of record, that we are currently, even at this stage, working on a number of church projects, basically church projects, just to show our commitment in terms of serving God as part of our mission and objective, because we do a bit of these projects, and we are working on currently two other church projects. One of them is a big chapel at the Nyanji Girls School, which is a 2,500 seater capacity. It's currently also at the roofing stage. We are also working on another church project at the moment, St. Luke's Church. I'm sure those who know Ntinda, you know St. Luke's Church. We are currently doing an extension of the vestry as a part of improving the church at that place. And we are very committed to work with the team, a very good team. I've seen a very good team on the steering committee. I've met a good team on the procurement committee. I'm sure all this is a resource that we shall interact with to work on this project. I was telling my team when we were coming that this Virika Cathedral, we used to hear it even when we were children. But I've got to learn, of course, a little bit of history on it. It's a very unique project. It's a very unique design. It's not almost anywhere. I've not seen it anywhere in Uganda at least. And I've also done research. I have not seen any typical church of this type elsewhere. So I was telling the team that we must be able to do an excellent job. We have been given a task. It's a very unique church. If there was, and I think I will talk to Enoch, I think about this, if there was an issue of compiling heritage sites, I think this should be one of such a sites which should be clearly maintained in the state that it is, to make sure that we are able to preserve some of the important buildings that we have been able to put in place. So as Arch Design, we are very committed to work on this assignment for the next 12 months. And as President Enoch Chibamu said, we are going to be sourcing a contractor together with the rest of the team here. We will lead the activity, but it's very important that we get an excellent contractor to do this kind of job. It's not a simple job, but it has to be done very properly, and we are sure we'll be able to get that done. And more importantly, of course, to do it in the right time, within the time that has been allocated to us. The last time I interacted with the procurement committee, of course, I did highlight that the other key important thing, I know Honorable was saying is still mobilizing resources, but for us, we shall spare no effort to ensure that there is good quality. So whatever amount of resource you are looking, maybe you need to up your envelope, but we shall ensure that we do quality job. Because this is not work that you should be repeating over and over again. It should be at least able to serve you not less than about 25 years. At least once you do it, you should do it effectively. We know the sensitivities around this project, and we shall ensure that we do a good job. So I don't want to say much, promise much, but we are committed to start on day one, and we are going to begin effectively. We shall be coming back to our client's representative. It's good now we have a client's representative. So we'll work with the client's representative to ensure that we interface with whoever is required. And I think we are good to go at the moment. And I thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to serve for Porto Diocese. Thank you very much.
Members of the steering committee, members of the procurement committee, the delegation from the art design, you can ably call the project manager, not forgetting that council was presiding over this exercise. Our press personnel. Today is a very exciting time for me as chair of the steering committee. because I see one of the major deliverables. It's a landmark in the whole project process. We have delivered on a very big assignment, and I'm very excited about it. And I would like to thank my Lord Bishop for being here to sign this project, to sign off this contract of the project for your cathedral, and for your information of all, that cathedral, one of the first things that the bishop takes responsibility after his ordination or consecration is to be given a cathedral. So his work starts there. So this is the principal church of the diocese, which is intimately linked to the office of the bishop and his role in the diocese as head of the church. So when we talk of the cathedral, the first things that come to mind are maybe are two or three. One is the bishop. Two is the geographical demarcation of the cathedral, and three is the cathedral, the principal church. So you can imagine what we are dealing with. So it's an emblematic project that we are dealing with for the diocese and for the church. That is the nature of the work that we are dealing with. And there will be other speeches to give because this project is not complete, but I limit myself to the context of this signing that we have done today. As I have said, this is a very major deliverable on the assignment that was given to us. And from the time we started, we have come a long way. We have come a long way. I've been leading a very dynamic team, very able and dynamic team, with different ramifications. You have a steering committee, you have the construction committee, you have fundraising committee, you have now procurement committee. All these committees have been working hard to make sure that we are coming to this point. So I'm very grateful to all the teams that I've been leading. I've been leading a very big team. I just see myself as a team leader. I thank my members of the team I've worked with for all the input that has brought us this far. And in a more specific way, thank the procurement committee. Congratulations for delivering to this enormous task that we are given. I would like also to welcome Art Design to be part of this big undertaking that we have. The very fact that we have signed this contract, we have a binding that we are going to work together, and I have no doubt from what has been said and from your experience and reading your profile and what you have done, I have no doubt that we shall make good of the people's expectations on this project. And now that we have the project manager in place, it signals the nearness of seeing the hammer on the roof, because that's what the public is waiting for out there. You may tell them anything, the people are putting their money, the people who expect to see vehicle, who love vehicle, and they know it's under construction. All they need to know is not that we have signed a contract, that we are in the boardroom discussing, they want to see the hammer on the roof. So now that we have signed this, it gives me a lot of comfort that we shall very soon see the hammer on the roof of the cathedral, to the satisfaction of so many stakeholders who own that cathedral. And the effort, the phase that we are getting into, now that we have the project manager, dear members of my team, brings a calls for more dynamism. And I'm looking at Honorable Hunda and your team, because we shall need more money, we shall be asking more money from you. So, and of course, again, it also shall have, I imagine we shall have more meetings than we have been holding. We shall have more engagement in terms of vigilance and so on. So this phase is challenging us to up our efforts. I know we've been working hard, but now we're going to up our efforts to match with the expectations that this phase is urging us into. And it has been, as I said, it has been a very tedious journey that I have made at this point. And in my view, I'm looking at two more major steps. After getting a project manager, I'm waiting to see the design and build contractor in place, and the next thing you'll be looking at after that will be to hand over the complete project. For me, those are the major landmarks. Of course, there are other stages within, but for me, these are key. These are very key, and we look forward to seeing them completed. Our architect, Richard, yeah, yes. You have talked of Vilka as you have not seen it anywhere. I'd like to assure you that it is nowhere else. If it is there, it has been copied from Vilka, because Vilka is the prototype. Vilka is the prototype. Why? In 1962-1967, there was the Vatican Council II, which ran from 1962 to 1967. That was the whole council of the whole church, Universal Church, the Catholic Church. It is that council which allowed the building of round churches. That is 1967. If there is any Catholic church, it can't be before 1965. So ours, the earthquake hit 1966, 1 year after the council had allowed. It took 1966 to mobilize funds and 1967 to start building. So it is very shortly after the Catholic churches were round churches were allowed in the Catholic Church. So Vilka is a fruit of that. So it was designed here and produced here. It is a heritage. So that gives us a very, it gives another value that I thought I bring it out to know the value of what we are dealing with, the historical value of that church that we have for renovation. So that said, I'd like to reiterate the words that have been said, that what we are putting, what we are renovating, what we are working on is something as precious as that. So all care, all consultation, all efforts and so on is to renovate Vilka with all that it deserves. And I thank you so much Arch Design for showing interest in coming to be part of Vilka. I thank everybody who has been involved, and I thank Council for leading us in this exercise. Thank you so much. At this point, I invite my Lord Bishop to give us remarks.
Brother Chris, and all of you in your respective capacities, manager, I'd like to appreciate Mr. Nyongo has been chairing the steering committee this level, which many people will not be aware of. Yesterday I was having a meeting with the Parish Pastoral Council members. One member has said, when the renovation started, contributed our money and don't see anything yet. Fortunately, I was aware of this function today, so I told them tomorrow I'm going to send the contract to the manager. So I'd like to thank all of you who have been involved in reaching this level of the process. The construction committee, the procurement committee, plus the finance committee headed by Honorable Alex Rugunda, entire team. I'd like to thank all those of you who have been in this procurement process for identifying arch design and the leadership of Richard to come forth and be able to come and take on this project. Unfortunately, as we have on our steering committee, Architect Kibam, who I know very well, is well informed about these issues. When he speaks, I know his word is serious. So it gives me great confidence that we have a design to come and be our project manager of this project. So the profile that you have given us in this booklet, and also confirmed by Father Pascal, for a project you already did for us in St. Joseph's Technical Masca, I have great confidence that they're going to do a good job. You may have heard of our pains that we have had in the past years, as narrated by some of us, including Honorable Alex Abunda, whom we worked with in the last renovation. And it's an embarrassment when you collect people's money and you think you have done a good job, and then you see the rain coming through the roof. It is really embarrassing, but I hope such a thing will not happen again. So with the assurance you have given us, the profile that you have indicated, we are confident that you are going to do a good job to solicit with us and for us the design and build contractor who will do a good job so that all of us will be satisfied. So that is our hope and prayer that that will be realized. So we entrust everything to the Lord that this will be realized, and it will be for the joy of all of us, the joy of our diocesan community, and other people from whom we are soliciting some funds from. So we want to entrust this to the Lord and to you as our project manager, and this will come out very well. As he said, we shall be happy when you are handing over the project to us. That what you entrusted to us on the 5th of March 2023, now we're handing over to you maybe before 2020, March 2024. So that will be our joy as we celebrate that day when the project is given back to us. So thank you so much for your attention, and I wish you the best of God's blessing.